Over the last 50 years, there's been a five-fold increase in the amount of fish being taken out of the oceans. A quarter of total fisheries are now classified as overfished or depleted, and another half of the remaining global fisheries are being fished as hard as they can be. Overfishing and its associated environmental impact is our second biggest sustainability challenge after climate change. We live in a world that wants more and more seafood. 1 billion people on this planet depend on seafood for their sole or their main source of protein. So many fish are being taken out that it's not leaving enough fish in the oceans to ensure that there are fish supplies for this and future generations.
World's fishers are in trouble, and I'm worried about it personally because the sustainability of the world's stocks leads directly to the sustainability of our business and the sustainability of our employment. And of course the Grand Banks of Canada is the horror story that should be the lesson to us all about how a fishery can collapse.
In the early 90s, the Grand Banks cod fishery collapsed. This was a very large cod fishery that had been landing hundreds of thousands of tons of cod for a number of centuries. Those fish have never come back. And in addition, 40,000 fishermen lost their livelihoods. And this was a wake-up call to the industry, and that spurred the development of the Marine Stewardship Council. The MSC concept is actually quite simple. When consumers see that MSC blue eco-label, they've got that third-party assurance and verification that by choosing that product, they are not contributing to the social and environmental problems of overfishing.
Well, Hastings is a very old fishing industry. It's probably the oldest in the country. My family was here in the 1200s, and it does show that we're a sustainable fishery, as we've been here for so many generations. But that wasn't enough. We can't prove we're a sustainable fishery. The only way we can prove we're a sustainable fishery and we have good fishery practice is to join MSC. And once you've got that badge of approval, you haven't just said you are, you've proved you are.
The MSC has a range of fisheries, from the small community-based fisheries like the Hastings fishery, Dover sole, herring and mackerel, to the mighty Alaskan fisheries like the Alaskan salmon fishery and the Alaskan pollock fishery. The key point is they've all been independently assessed as meeting the world's most rigorous scientific sustainability standard.
Our fishery is the first MSC certified tuna fishery in the world. It absolutely is going to give us an edge in the market. For the part of the public that really understands and wants something that comes from a sustainable fishery, here it is for them.
No product can carry the label in the marketplace unless every single link in the supply chain has an annual audit to make sure that they're separating certified fish from non-certified fish.
You can trace back to who caught the fish, what boat it came off of, where it was unloaded, where it was freezer stored, where it was trucked to, and how it got to you finally in the store.
We ask every supplier to go through a very, very detailed set of questionnaires. But if the fish is MSC certified, they don't have to answer any of those questions other than number one, is it MSC certified? And it's an easy, quick reassurance that that fish is sustainably sourced.
People don't really want to understand the detail, and this is where a scheme like the Marine Stewardship Council is so important, because it gives a check that they have gone through a process to ensure that they're sustainable. So we also have paid more for MSC certified fish than its equivalent from non-MSC certified fisheries.
We actually in ourselves get a better price back, and that comes back to us as fishermen at the end of the day, simply because we're fishing in a good, sustainable manner. Once we've got the MSC approval, we've found new markets to avenue for our fish.
The growth over the last 2 years has been astronomical. So, for example, Walmart, the world's largest retailer, in 2006 made a commitment that within 5 years, for their wild capture fish supplies, they will only source Marine Stewardship Council certified fish.
We sell approximately 20 million pounds of fresh fish a year. We had to do something that would protect us as we grow and as we need more and more product into the future. And that's where the MSC really shone out to us as a leading way that we can really embrace and grow our business.
So the vision is to create a race to the top in global fisheries management by identifying, creating market incentives and rewarding the best managed fisheries in the world. We are now approaching a tipping point. We now have an estimated 200 million items of MSC labelled seafood being sold annually around the world in 36 countries. People are getting more of an understanding of what that funny blue logo actually means, that that product has come from a well-managed fishery.
We want children to see the blue label, the MSC logo. You have to teach the children that that's a choice that they can make that actually is good for the planet. And it's now built into the curriculum, so children, as they come through, will continue to learn about the difference between general fish that you can buy and the MSC label.
We're very concerned that there won't be supply going forward. Sustainability isn't just a business term of how I keep my business going, it's also the impact that we're having on the environment. And sooner or later, we feel that competition will have to go down this route because the raw material supply is dwindling, and so the traditional, I can buy 1 million pounds from wherever I need it, 5 or 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, they're not going to be able to do either.
I think the last 2 years have proven that the MSC concept works. There's a business case for fisheries to come forward, and most importantly, there's an ecological case.
What's at stake at the end of the day is the future of the fishing industry in itself, because if we don't look after fish stocks for the future, there will be no fish for the future.
Seafood is the most traded primary commodity in the world. Half of that fish is coming from the developing world. For MSC to really be able to deliver its mission of contributing to reversing the decline in global fish stocks, we have to become global. And whilst we have 7% of global fisheries in the programme, in an ideal world, we need 100%. Because I think it's beholden on all of us to ensure that this valuable and renewable food resource is managed sustainably for this and future generations.